So I just got back from California Superbike School. I did the 2-day camp, which is level 1 and level 2 back to back. And this vision tip I learned is amazing. So I just got back home from riding about 200 miles of twisty mountain roads, and this was the only thing I was thinking about. So in Superbike School, they call it 2-point turning or 3-point turning. So the basic idea is you locate your turn point, where about you want to start turning the bike. Then you locate your apex or pre-apex, I'll get into that. And then you locate your exit area. And then you just follow the breadcrumbs with your eyes, so a nice smooth transition through the corner. So whenever you're actually going through a corner, you don't want to be looking like this. You don't want your eyes erratic and going everywhere, looking up, looking down, looking back, looking forth. It just makes everything very confusing, and it doesn't actually help your line or your riding or your throttle. So what you want is nice, smooth, consistent with your eyes, following the breadcrumbs up and through the corner. But if you don't know what to look for, and if you don't know what to pick out or what to look for, this is going to be difficult to do. So let me walk you through kind of like where I'm looking and what I'm thinking about as I'm actually going through a twisty mountain road. All right, so this is from today's ride. My camera is directly in the front of the bike on the windshield, so there's nothing in front of me. So as I'm approaching the corner, right, so I'm thinking about where I want to turn. So a turn point is just a reference point for right now. So right now, I understand the shadow is going to move, but for right now, my turn point is roughly at the end of the shadow towards the outside. So that's where about I want to turn the bike. Now the apex, it might be way over here and I can't exactly see it. So the idea of the pre-apex is but if I look all the way over here towards the bush or the white line, my line will tend to go in too early. So what I want to do is there's my turn point, and you look to the next point when you know you're going to hit your turn point, right? And that's at different times depending on your speed and whatever else. So let's say the apex is right here where my finger is at. So you kind of go over from that and look at the cement. You see that other little piece of shadow right there? So that's my pre-apex, which is the shadow on the ground. I can't exactly see the apex because it's around the corner and there's bushes or maybe the trees in the way. So that's where I'm looking at the pre-apex. So it gives my brain something to do. I'm following the breadcrumbs. So as I'm coming up, slowing down, whatever, right? This is mainly about vision. So here's where I want to turn. And it doesn't have to be exact. It might be afterwards. It might be a little bit to the left or to the right. But picking a specific spot keeps you in your frontal lobe, in your thinking brain, and away from the fear part of your brain, right? So I'm picking out a turn point. Once I know I'm going to hit it, then I'm looking at the pre-apex. Then once I kind of get around the corner, there's the apex. And then my eyes shoot up to the exit zone. And the exit zone, again, is just a piece of cement that tracks as you move. This whole thing moves, but it's a nice smooth transition with your eyeballs. So let's check it out. So there's about where my turn point is. So the pre-apex, which was that shadow. So now that I'm through a little bit, because that's where I was looking, but now that I'm through a little bit, I travel a little bit further. So my apex is pretty much right there where the white line meets the edge of the shadow. So there's the actual apex of where I want to be. And that just means whenever I'm closest to the inside. Again, it's just a reference point. So I'll be closest to the inside for this turn right around this point. And then now I'm going to be shooting. So once I know I'm going to hit the apex, my eyes will continue to follow the breadcrumbs and up in the head. And I look for the exit area, which is right now, kind of like right here, just to the right of the bushes. Again, on the cement somewhere still in the shadow. And then as I go, that will travel until the exit area becomes the next turn point, where about I want to turn. So there we go. So here's about the apex, and I'm about closest to the inside. Now I have a left-hand turn. So maybe at the end of the bushes, so my eyes already shot to the exit, and now I'm looking for the next turn point, which will probably be like somewhere around here. Once I know I'm going to hit that turn point, then I shoot my eyes over here. Not at the yellow line, because that's not where I want to go, but just at the cement a couple feet over from the yellow line. That's my pre-apex, because I don't know where the real apex is, because I can't see around the corner. So my main vision of where I'm looking is from yellow line to white line. I'm not looking at the mountains. I'm not looking at this tree. I'm not looking at that pole. All that stuff is irrelevant to me. I'm focused on where I want my line to go, where I want my bike to go. All this is just in my peripheral vision, but my focused vision is pretty much white line to yellow line. Even if a car comes by, I'm not going to start staring at the car, maybe just for a real quick 1/10 of a second, but my peripheral vision could see that anyway. I don't have to actually turn my focused eyes to the car to come to look back. I don't have to know the make, model, year, color of the damn thing. I just know there's a car right there. So I've been going. So like I said, right about here was my turn point. Once I know I'm going to hit it, now I'm looking at the pre-apex. Now I'm not looking as far as I possibly can. I'm not looking right there because I might turn in too early and go straight across the yellow line. So here's my turn point. This is about where I want to turn. So my eyes are going to go just to the outside right there, in between the yellow line and the white line. So it's like right about here is my pre-apex, right? So there it is. So there's my pre-apex. Now I could see through the turn. I'm looking a little bit more. So now that was my pre-apex. It just turned into my real apex, which is the little dip of the yellow line right there. That's where I want to be closest to the inside. Then once I know I'm going to hit that point, I'm looking up for the exit area, which is somewhere around there. And then since I have another turn, I'll be looking for my next turn point. You see that? You see how it works? And then since the road is going like this, but I can almost go in a straight line. So when people say, just like Dylan Coates said, when you're looking through the corner, where do you want to look? Well, some people say look as far as you can. Okay, I could see all the way down there. Am I supposed to look all the way down there? No, that doesn't make any sense because I'll probably ride right off the road. I'll go over the double yellow line. Like, that's way too far. Way too close is trying to identify every single crack. That doesn't make sense. So it's always looking on your intended path of travel, but looking at the breadcrumbs in between the yellow and the white line. Where are the breadcrumbs? Where am I going, right? So again, still picking it out. So here's about the apex where I'm closest to the inside. And then as I'm looking up ahead, the exit area turns into the turn point. And since the car is coming right there, it's a slight left. So my turn point will probably be like right around here. And then there's a 40 mile per hour speed limit sign. There's the sign of the road, but I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at the ground right there. So right about there-ish is where I'll have the apex, where I'm closest to the inside. And once I know I'm gonna hit that, my eyes will jump over here towards the exit area. Let's see how that goes. Yep, okay, now I'm going straight. Now I'm not looking all the way right here at the edge of the mountain. You see what I'm saying? Again, that'd be too far and my line will start to track where I'm looking. So right here, the exit area is still going up ahead of me. Here I am, exit area is up there. And now I'm starting to look for where do I wanna start turning this bike at? So maybe it's at the end of the bushes. From right here, I can't really tell. So as I move forward more, I start to look. Okay, I wanna start turning the bike right around there. And once I get to that point where I'm gonna start to turn the bike, before I get there, I'm gonna locate either the apex or the pre-apex, right? And then as I travel, my eyes will keep on shooting a nice linear, smooth eye fashion. I want my eyes doing this crap. And looking at that tree, looking at the mountains, looking over here, taking a look at the scenery, this is not the time to do it. Unless I'm riding super slow, then I can ride one-handed, stand up, look all around, enjoy the view. But when I'm actually going through at a quicker speed in the cornering, I'm not trying to look anywhere but where I want to go. Going, starting to slow down. So I'm still on the straight line, but then I realize, oh, it's a little bit of a left, just a slight left, and then I got a right going around this mountain, right? So now I was like, okay, I'm gonna start to turn right about here somewhere. My apex is about right about there, close to the yellow line. Doesn't really matter because there's no oncoming car. And I already know, so there's my apex is gonna be. And then the exit is somewhere over there, which will pretty much be the exact same thing as the turn point because now it's a blind turn coming up. So my eyes are just tracking a nice smooth line of where it is I want to go, right? So there you go, apex, and then I'm looking like right here, so I'm at the apex of this turn. So now the exit is the turn point. So I'm gonna start turning like right around here. And then once I know I'm gonna get there, my pre-apex is the ground. Remember, not the white line, not the mountain, not over there, not this big rock, nothing like that, is the ground where I want the bike to be. So somewhere on the other side of that little bush right there is where I'm looking. So turn point, as I'm going through, right, my pre-apex keeps on moving with my eyes. I'm not looking at the white line because I'll bring me in too tight. I'm not looking at the yellow line because I don't want to go wide. If a big old semi starts coming around the corner, I'm definitely not looking at that because I don't want to hit the damn semi. So I'm looking at the cement right here until I can figure out where do I want to be closest to the inside. It starts to open up, right? And that's the idea. Do you see what I'm saying? So and no matter where it is, like I could just keep on jumping ahead, going all the way up the mountain. Eventually it gets pretty foggy, as you can see. But let me just pick another spot. So here we go. Same exact thing. Picking out the turn point. Okay, there's apex. Starting to go straight, I can accelerate. So it's a slight, right? So I'm gonna be close to the inside right about here. Go back to the outside. So I'm looking at the turn point, maybe like at the end of the shadow somewhere. I know I'm gonna hit that. I start to get my eyes over here. There's a pre-apex where it's gonna be, okay, there's apex, exit. Okay, I'm going right, I start on the outside, turn point. Okay, pre-apex somewhere over here. I'm looking. There's the apex. Okay, now the exit turns into the next turn point. Pre-apex, I'm looking right here. I can look further. Okay, now turn point. Looking at the ground right here, looking at the ground. Holy crap, a bunch of bicycles, go around them. Right, keep on going, no big deal. Right here, going around. Okay, I have a left-hand turn. I'm gonna start on the outside, maybe around the end of the shadow is my turn point. Before I get there, I'm looking right here, so as I'm going through a corner like this, I'm not looking all the way over here where the mountain meets the road, because if I do, I'm probably going to turn it too early and start going over the WL line into the other lane, right? I don't want to be looking as far as I could see. It doesn't make any sense. So where I'm looking is right about where this tree is on the cement. Like that's about where I want to go until I figure out where the actual apex is. And I really don't know that because I haven't memorized this road. I don't know where it's going on. Like, oh, now I know that it opens up, so my apex will probably be where these skid marks are. And then now that I know that, my eyes are keep on going up ahead. So there's my exit zone, which is about my turn point as well. I'm going to start turning right about there. Looks like I have a right-hand turn. So depending on what I see right now, it might be like on the outside or it might be somewhat in the middle of the road because this looks like a slight right and then another left. So it's like a mini chicane. So let's see. Yep, little mini chicane. So I came over here, tight there, turned the bike, looking. What's going on? Okay, now that I know. So here's the apex. Whenever I'm closest to the inside, it doesn't matter if I'm near the yellow line because there's no car coming, obviously. So now that I know this is the apex where I'll be closest, eyes are shooting down up here. So I have a right-hand turn. So I'm going to start somewhere over here. So that's my exit area, which is also my turn point for this turn. So going over there, just like I said, right, bam. So right here, I'm not looking all the way over here because I'm going to miss a bunch of crap. So I'm starting to turn the bike. So my pre-apex is like right where that little stick is on the cement though. I'm not looking at the white line because I don't want to turn in too early. So looking up, looking right here. Yep. Okay, there's apex, looking up. Okay, it opens up a little bit. So now it's like 2 turns now. So I'm going to let it drift wide. Here's a reference point. Maybe I'll go over that or just to the outside of it. Get the turn point over here. And I'll keep on looking for that other little stick. Do you see that? So that might be the next apex or pre-apex when I get there. But right now I'm kind of looking here. Okay, just like I said, looking up. Okay, there's a skid mark right there. So maybe the turn point will just be to the outside of that little skid mark thing. And before I get there, I want to look to the apex, or if I can't see it, the pre-apex. Just like I said, outside that crack. And then now, okay, I don't know where the apex is because I don't know if this tightens up, if it's a long turn or if it's just a 90 degree. So I'm not looking way over here. Again, that's too far. And I don't want my line to go over the double yellow. So since I'm at the turn point, right after the squiggly line stuff, my eyes are right about here at the cement, about 2 feet over from the yellow line. So as I keep on going through, I keep on looking up where my finger is. Oh, now I realize I have a right turn. So I have to jump back over to this side, which is the exit, turns into the turn point. I want to start looking, not yet, but as I keep on going, where am I looking? Now I'm looking not at the white line because I don't want to get way too close. So turning the bike over, so pre-apex, kind of like the cement, like right about here. Then as I keep on going, where is it? Still long turn. Okay, so I'll probably apex right about here, which means when I'm closest to the inside, and I could see that it opens up and now I have a left-hand turn. So I'm gonna make the exit of this right turn into the next, setting me up perfectly to be on the outside for the left-hand turn. Okay, turn point, maybe I'll be somewhere around these shadows and between that shadow and this shadow, something like that. Yep. And we're going through, looking right here, getting a little bit tight, so I roll off the throttle a little bit. So I'm not looking way the hell over there. That's way too far. So as I'm right here, I'm looking about right here on the cement. I'm right here, look right here. Okay, now I realize there's another right-hand turn. I just repeat the process. So riding this today, so I started off, take off from Pacific Beach. It was a little bit drizzly, got caught in a little bit of rain. It was clear at some points. And then as I went up the mountain, for example, look at this. As I went up the mountain, now it's like super foggy and I was like, holy crap, I could barely see what the heck's going on. So the pace dropped down dramatically, but I'm still picking up the same points. I'm still looking where I want to go. But this made such an incredible difference of my riding because it gives my brain something to do. And while I'm trying to explain it, like your brain could think way quicker than what I'm trying to say and how to explain it to hopefully you can understand. But once you know what to look for, where do I want to turn? Where's the apex? I can't see it yet because of certain type of corner. So like right here, I'm not looking at the white line. I'm not looking at the mountain. I'm not looking at that tree. I'm not looking at that tree. I'm not looking at off the cliff. In this scenario right here, right? I'm not looking there. I'm not looking there. I'm looking at the cement right about here, right? And as I keep on going, I'm looking at the cement. Okay, now that I know it opens up, I'm looking right here. Okay, so here's a left-hand turn. So maybe at the end of the skid marks is my turn point. And then once I know I'm gonna hit the turn point, now I get my eyes looking over here and I can't see that far of my visibility. So my pre-apex is a little bit closer. right about here, holy crap, big truck. So I'm not gonna look at the truck, I'm not gonna look at the sign, I'm not gonna look at the tree. All those things are useless to me right now. My peripheral vision picks that stuff up, right? But since this big old truck is coming around, I'm not looking at the front bumper, I'm not looking at the yellow line. Again, the pre-apex, I'm looking at the cement right about here. As I keep on going through, and I can keep on continue to look up. So it gives your brain something to do. And when you're picking out these spots, it's a lot easier for brain. Your brain just goes really, really fast. It's like, okay, okay, okay. But you want your eyes to do this. So watch my eyes. You want your eyes to do this. Turn point, pre-apex, apex, exit zone, going, come out of the corner. Okay, next turn point, turn, pre-apex, apex, exit zone, turn point. You don't want to be doing this. Because you're just erratic, and usually your eyes are tied to your throttle, which also would be erratic. And since you're picking out turn points, that's your line, which is interconnected. So man, I don't know how to explain it. So the roads I know, I've been riding for a long, long time, so I know the roads pretty well. But man, just being able to get my eyes moving on a fluid motion about exactly where I want to be looking was just so much less stress, and just able to be so much more smooth and even quicker in a lot of parts that I wasn't as quick before, because maybe I'm staring down too close to the ground and then my eyes are late, and that makes me over slow because it feels like I'm going faster. So my sense of speed dropped down dramatically. That's a really big thing. How fast it felt like I going was way lower because I'm always looking up ahead at specific spots that I'm picking out where I want to go, and I'm not looking down at the gauges. I'm not looking in the mirrors. Maybe if it's a straightaway, I look down, make sure nothing's crazy going on behind me, make sure my bike isn't telling me it's about to explode. But for the most part, while I'm actually in the turns, I'm looking way up ahead, and my focus vision is on the corner, yellow line to white line, where I want to go. So my sense of speed drops down dramatically. Like, it feels like you're going fast if you're looking down at the ground, everything's rushing by you, right? But if I give my brain and my eyes something to do, it just helps dramatically. Highly recommend re-listening to this, and think about next time you go for a ride, pick out your turn point. If you can't see the apex, pick out a pre-apex, not at the yellow line, maybe a little bit over a little bit. Look at the cement right there, and there's the apex, and then get your eyes looking at the exit zone. And just give your eyes something to do, and let me know how it works out for you, because it was awesome for me on track, and even on the street today with 150 whatever miles of twisty mountain roads. Absolutely fantastic. So amazing tip from Superbike School. Highly recommend going. Do the 2-day camp just like I did. That way you get more time on track, less students on the track with you. You get to ride the camera bike and all kinds of cool stuff. So I already made a full video review about the Superbike School, so you can check that out. Look on my channel. I also made a separate video just about the camera bike. So it records everything, your throttle, your brake, and you can see yourself. It's pretty damn awesome. So highly recommend checking that stuff out, and just go to superbikeschool.com for all the information, the schedule, and everything else.